In this video, we will be mostly focused on giving a good cleanup to the bolt. Which, why would you want that? If you play regularly, you want to ensure that your bolt is well lubed. That will help with consistency of the shots, will also help with air efficiency. Think it this way: if air is not tightly coupled, it will require your marker to push in more air so that the ball can hit the velocity. So what you will end up doing is having to adjust your velocity to push in more air, putting more pressure on the solenoid in order to push that ball at the same feet per second as you would. So let's just open this up, see where it was last time. Last time I used this, I used it at the paintball event, and you can see the video of the paint here. I'll post the link somewhere in the description. And I believe I may have broken paint on this one, as far as I remember. I am looking at the barrel, and it's clean, so I'm not sure if you can see it there somewhere, but the barrel is clean. So it didn't break here for what it looks like. I see some pieces of shell somewhere in there. I think it looks clean, but I haven't opened it. So you can give maintenance in the field. It's very easy. You require no tools, but I didn't do that last time around. I just switched markers. Okay, let's take a look. So to take the bolt out, you push the back cap upwards, then you twist it clockwise, like 10 degrees or whatever, and then you pull the bolt out. So we'll do push upwards. Ooh, I can see paint there already. How it got there, I don't know. 10 degrees to the side, maybe 45 or whatever, and you take this out. Wow, this is really bad. It's actually, how did this happen? I don't know. It probably, I don't know. So this is where we're at. So everything is in the bolt. I don't see any paint on the back. Oh, maybe some. Let me see. Okay, it's dirty inside here. Maybe it went through somehow. Doesn't matter. Okay, so we're taking out the spring, the bolt spring. We're gonna clean it, and again, most of scenarios won't be this bad. So it will be a little bit of paint, or the lube will be gone. Like, I don't see any lube anywhere here. So we're gonna take so we're taking the spring, the main spring out. Then we are taking the bolt out, and we remain with the full guide. Now this can be separated into pieces. Because of the paint here, we may need to split this into two parts. We'll take a look. But this is the guide, and inside the guide you can see the puppet. I don't think we'll need to get to that point, but we may. Okay, we'll take a look. So in here, so we have some paint here. All right, so very cool. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to clean some of this paint inside first, and then we'll take a look at the actual bolt. This should be an easy clean, but from what I'm seeing, actually. So I'm not sure if there are better techniques, but I'm just using a squeegee. I have my microfiber, so nothing fancy. Again, just your typical microfiber and a squeegee. So I'm just, you know, putting my squeegee. You can see the squeegee here. Maybe, you know, you clean it. We'll do it the other way around as well. Just be careful not to that your squeegee won't damage the eyes. But yeah, we'll do it all sides. All good, all good, perfect. And again, so the reason I'm also recording this for you all, is for you to have a maybe step-by-step guide that you can skip, or just come and watch on how to take off the bolt. If you're playing with a mini GS, and I'll do maybe one for the mini GS just to compare, but if you're using the Empire platform, the Invert Mini, the mini GS, the Axe, and the Empire Axe 6, they have this pretty much the same. Probably the main difference, so it's not a big difference, it's just how you take the guide out. In the most minis, you need to take out one screw, and the guide comes out with the bolt and the spring, but the bolt is exactly the same. The lube and everything is exactly the same. You would use Dow 33 as your lube for the gun, and that's pretty much it. So what we're doing, this video would apply pretty much to all types of, for the most part, will apply to all to the Empire platform. So if it is a mini GS, if you open your mini GS, it will look very similar to this, generally speaking. Awesome, very, very cool. So yeah, I'll use my microfiber, and let's clean that that spring. Let's ensure that it's very well clean. I will probably play with this gun, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video on a couple of months from now. I hope not to use this paint. Actually, I'm surprised that most of the what we're gonna clean today is paint related, or old paint, and it's not too old. It's sort of old, I guess. I don't see any debris. So if you have debris, that will be probably a different story. If you have dirt or debris, small leaves or pieces of leaves, that may be a problem, because you can scratch the bolt, but it doesn't seem to be the case today. So let's take the bolt. Right now, the only thing I'm doing is just absorbing that nasty paint. Interesting, yeah. We're just absorbing this nasty paint from everywhere. As we're cleaning, because we're absorbing that paint, we are also taking off whatever lube it had. So if I were to put this again together, I can't. I need to be able to lube it before I put it together, or I will end up first spending too much air, will probably damage the solenoid, maybe, or it will just not operate properly. It may work, but it will not operate properly. So you want to have it lubed so that the air is well sealed and tight. So we have the spring, we have the bolt. Now let's move to the bolt guide. I'm just ensuring that my mat is clear of paint, so that I don't put paint or dirt back in my bolt. Okay, so we continue to clean here some of these nasty paint. Maybe, you know what, I'll show you what I mean, that this is a two-piece. So it looks like this, right? So if I grab a thin Allen key, by the way, I don't know if there is a real better way to go about it. If there is, let me know. Don't kill me on this one. Let's take a look. So you take an Allen key. Maybe, again, I'm not sure if this is the best way to go about it, but we do, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So we're gonna do lefty loosey. There you go. And again, lefty loosey, and and we take out the other part. I don't see any paint here. You can see the puppet there. Actually, there is some paint here, but it's really marginal. Sorry, you see some paint here. It's really marginal. It's not much paint. Okay, so this looks good to me. Taking this part, you can see some paint there. We can use the we'll have to lube this as well and put it together. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much with what we're gonna do today. So again, retracing the steps, we pop the cap, twist it, pull it out, which is this part. Then we took the spring, we took the spring from the bolt. We cleaned the spring, we cleaned the bolt, we cleaned the guide. Apologies. We cleaned the guide, and then we separated the guide into two parts. That's all we're gonna do today. It's just maintenance. We are not going to fix any major issues with the guide and whatnot. Just simply something that you would do once a month. Maybe after a full tournament, you would do that again. You look at the bolt and you'll see if maintenance is needed. So, all right. So with that said, let's move forward. I would say probably the next step would be, I always like to lube the bolt at the end, so let's leave that right now because I did separate this. I normally don't have to do that. To do this, I will just go ahead and lube some of these. And again, there are many ways to go about this. Again, if you have better techniques or better ways to go about it, just let me know. Something you don't want to do, it's not that we're cheap or not. I mean, it's not that the lube is price or whatnot, but you don't want to over lube your gun. It's not that it's not going to work, or it's not. You may have unintended consequences. Maybe it will seal the air, which is what you want, but by putting lube, maybe too much lube and maybe too much lube on the threads, you may make the gun or your marker or your piece slide off, and by sliding off, letting air in, and then again you have an unintended consequence. But right now we just lube this O-ring that connects these parts, and we're just gonna go ahead and put this together. Again, we did lefty loosey. Now we're gonna do righty tighty. So we tighten towards the right, and after I did this, a little bit of lube came out, so which is fine, which is was pushed by the O-ring. It means that the O-ring is it's tight. Good. I'm not going to. You don't need to use the Allen key at the end. You want it tight, but you don't want it like you don't want to solder the piece together. You just want it tight. That's all you want. Let's lube the guide O-rings. This is the air that pushes the bolt forward. Let's take some lube again. So the way I like to go about it is I like to put lube on the O-ring, and then there are many techniques, but I like to put the lube in the O-ring and then do up and down, so that all the crevices where the O-ring is at are covered by the lube. In that way, we ensure that the air will not seep in through those crevices. So this is good. You also don't want to over lube the piece. Again, to me, the right measure is if I don't see any more crevices, that's what I would call a success, which is what we have. You don't see almost any spot without lube. We're good here. Great. Do you have to worry about these holes being covered? No, not really. I mean, the less you do, the better, but you don't really need to worry about them. I wouldn't worry about them. If it gives you any heartburn, then you can use the Allen key, but again, not needed. Again, this is just maybe more of a OCD thing than actually necessary. So you get this part. Look, this is the guide. So we keep our guide here. We go to the most important part. You want the inner part to be clear of any lube. Well, yeah, not lube, but of paint. Sorry, lube. It's okay-ish. It's okay. But you really want to lube these O-rings. These are very important to get them very well lubed, which is what we're gonna do right now. So we got our Dow 33, and we again, we lube those O-rings. I'll put this down here. Again, there may be many techniques, but my technique here is up and down, up and down. All right. Up and down, up and down. Very good. Okay, I see that everything is well lubed. So here is the next part. The spring. So once we have this ready, I'll put it vertical. I don't want to mess with the lube I already put. The spring, even though it looks consistent, it's tighter on one side than on the other. This side is bigger than this side. How do you know that? If you put one the big side on the bolt, it'll not click and you can take it out easily. But if you put the other side in, it's gonna click. And after it clicks, hold on, there you go. It'll remain in place. Sorry, I think I'm unlubing some of what I put. Again, the bolt is probably the best part, the most important part. Okay, we ensure that everything is well lubed. We don't want any orifices where the air can come out. I would recommend lubing the O-ring because it will make friction with the bolt. You can lube just the bolt. So here the main part, or the main problem you'll have, or I've seen with other people, is that you don't want to put so much lube that it will damage or it will go into the tip of the bolt. But you also don't want it to be scratching the bolt. So I'm not sure if there is like a right answer here. If anybody has a better technique, let me know and I'll incorporate it on my next time around. But what you need to get done is lube those O-rings, ensure that the spring will not make as much friction as possible without getting in this part, which is what pushes the paintball out, and then we just move to place the bolt in the guide like this, and we are ready to place this. We're ready to place this back in. Now that I think about it, I'm thinking that we should probably put some lube here. Is it necessary? Yes, it is. Something you would do regularly? I don't think so. Not as much as the bolt. I would say that probably you'll do twice the bolt, the lubing the bolt, than you would lube this part. But because I did clean it, I need to lube this part. So let's go back and get this done real quick. So we did this O-ring from these O-rings in the back. Again, let's grab some Dow 33, and again, I don't see that you would regularly be doing that as much as you would do the bolt. You'll do it regularly, but probably not as much as the bolt. Again, if your gun is working, don't break it. Just ensure that if you feel that you're spending too much air, then probably you want to go ahead and lube your marker. So okay, with that, we have lubed these O-rings. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the guide with the bolt and the spring back in place. Okay, we push it in. Now it's good and tight, and we close it. And with that's it. That's pretty much what we needed to do.